ones or friends, that you give them comfort. We thank you for our law enforcement and the military and all of our emergency responders, and we pray for their safety as they go about their duties. And we just pray for guidance, wisdom, knowledge, and discernment as we go through this meeting. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. All right, next on the agenda is a time for public comments. Before opening the floor for that, let me share some expectations from our ordinances on decorum. The speakers shall come to our table here where the microphone is and give your name and your address. The speaker should conduct themselves in a professional and respectful manner. All remarks should be directed to me, the mayor, and presiding officer, and not to individuals, council members, staff, or citizens in attendance. The speaker at no time will be allowed to defame, intimidate, make personal affronts, use profanity, or make threats of violence, and the speaker will have a maximum of 3 minutes to speak, and we will have a time device for you to follow. The rules for our public, members of the public, the audience shall not engage in any of the following during our meeting: shouting, unruly behavior, distracting side conversations, clapping or speaking out when another person is talking, no defamation, intimidation, personal affronts, profanity, or threats of violence, and no behavior that disrupts the orderly conduct of our meeting. So at this time, is there anyone present who would like to come forward to provide public comments? Yes, sir.
My name is Zach Martin. I live at 740 Old Center Point Road. Mayor, council members, thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. My name is Zach Martin. I live at I've lived there for about 2 years, but my connection to Center Point goes much deeper than that. Those weekends were spent outdoors on the land, forming a bond with this place that never left me. Learning to respect it, care for it. Center Point has always been generations deep. As I grow older, I learn more about our heritage on the family farm that dates back to the 1800s. And the community my great-grandmother, Iva Levins, helped build, and that her husband, Cecil, helped farm. This land wasn't just where my family lived, it's where they worked. Rather, Judy Furr, it was her love for this community. It's people and the land that brought us all together. That love, I'm not here because I'm anti-technology, and I'm not here to attack the city council, anyone involved in the process. I'm here because I believe there's places where certain developments simply do not belong, and rural generational land like this is one of them. Gone. It's gone for good. You cannot recreate the history, the farms, or the family that have cared for it for generations. My concern is power and the precedents this set for the future of Center Point. There are many families near this site whose history runs just as deep as mine, and they will deserve to be considered. Go on record in clear opposition to the proposed data center at this location. Please do not let the council Please do not be the council that trades generations of land, heritage, and community for a project that simply does not belong here. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate the opportunity to be heard.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
So my name is Hugh Bass. I live at 180 Smoke Rise Drive in Carrollton. Thank you all for your time tonight. I am here to speak in opposition of the proposed data center. I'm not going to be redundant with what Zach's just said. We agree with him totally. I am in the Bass family, grew up on a farm there. Our family has a large tract of land out there. We have 5 families who still live on the farm. I have a brother who owns land that is adjacent to this land the data center is on. So this is the Bass family. Would y'all stand up if you're a Bass, so raise your hands. So we are highly opposed to this data center. It would change the character of Center Point forever. Never in a million years could I have thought that we'd be up here dealing with an industrial proposal for land in Center Point. But thank you.
Thank you.
Me and my family reside at 623 Center Point Road. My wife and I are fourth generation, and my sons are fifth generation, live on the land that we live on now. My family goes back to the mid-1900s living in this community, and like I said, not to keep beating a dead horse, but I agree with Mr. Martin wholeheartedly. Nothing against anybody here in this room or anybody trying to better themselves in any kind of way, but there's places that these places belong, and the Center Point community ain't it. Thank y'all for your time and the ability to speak tonight.
Thank you.
Hey, good evening. My name is Reed Morris. I live on 251 Old Center Point Road. Mr. Bracknell was my public speaking teacher. How's it going, y'all? Thanks so much for your time. And like Zach said, I don't want to reinstate too much, but I can trace my family history back to the West Georgia area as far as I can. We've farmed the same farm for about 4 generations. Whole family lives in the neighborhood in the Center Point area. I'm here to speak in opposition of the data center. You know, like Zach said, I'm not anti-growth, I'm not anti-technology, but I think there's so many more ways that would be better for the community to put the land, you know. And, you know, I've even heard arguments made that they would rather see the data center over a residential neighborhood. And I think one thing to consider is how a data center would affect real estate values in the area. And also, we know the long-term effects of residential communities, but we don't know the long-term effects of data centers. We don't know how it's going to affect our power, our water, our runoff, our light and noise pollution. My 4th generation family farm, the property line is 400 yards from the property where this will be developed if it goes forward. And so we'd just like y'all to really strongly consider not letting that go through. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next.
My name is Blake Presnell. We currently farm a couple hundred acres in Center Point.
Address, please.
582 Levens Road.
Thank you.
So 582 Levens Road is where our farm shop is. My brother lives next to it. My parents live on the other side of him, which is directly across from where the proposed data center would be. We've been fortunate enough that some of the members of the community have allowed us to manage or rent some of their land, some of it being the Bass family, some of it being the Levens family. We set roots down. We're lifetime Carroll County residents, but we just feel that Carroll County is a great anti-growth, as some of the other gentlemen have spoke. But I just wanted to sit up here and not to be redundant on what they've stated. Zach did a good job. Mr. Hugh Bass did a great job. But thank you. Thank you for your time.
Next. Our brother, my son Brandon, all three are right directly across from the proposed north site. So we'll be looking at the project for about 35 years. And I have been heavily involved with the construction of a number of data centers. Primarily, the one on Thornton Road is the project that never ends. I think I started on that project in 2005, and it is just one building right after another. There's currently 2 or 3 large projects going on there now that have just started within the last several months. And it is the construction project you would never believe. It's just undescribable, the effects the construction of this project may have. I'm not sure what's going to happen once it's all done and complete, but I'm telling you, it's going to be a tough 5 or 10 years while this project's being built. So I just wanted to voice that, because I don't think nobody here has ever been to a data center construction project, and it creates a little bit of money working on these. So next.
Hi, I'm Natalie Nickel. I live from my front door. Past that fence on the dead-end street is where the proposed lines for the center to be built. I know that you said you weren't going to speak about it tonight, but I think it's kind of clear that everybody here wants it to be on record that we don't want it at our road or anywhere in this area. we got my kids here because I couldn't find anybody to sit them, but our road is very quiet. It is, it's a nice place. And my family's concern is that if that data center gets put down there, the water consumption that's going to from it is going to take away from our sleep. My husband's a fireman. He already doesn't get great sleep. Having the light pollution from there being in our basically back door is not going to be conducive to him sleeping when we're at home. So our family's concerned about our lifestyle there. We chose to live on that dead-end street because it's cool things for us. Thanks.
My name is Angie Matthews. I live at 15. To be just, you weren't going to just, my sister and her husband live, our grandkids, our grandkids. You just don't know that nobody of a thing it is, but we're a small community. We're a small community. It's a hometown community. It's rural community. It's a hometown community. It's rural land. It's farming land. And it is rural land. It's farming land. And it is. It's generations of families. Point Road, I promise you, you see us out with kids playing in the yards every single day. Playing in the yards every single day. I just want to strongly show that we're hugely, and we know that, there's rural farm home have to deal with all that we don't even know that those data centers propose. So I just want to go on record saying that. I can speak for everybody in our family at that area that we're hugely opposed to this. So, thank you.
Next.
My name is Anna Bass Curtis. I and my husband own farmland at 25. Sorry, what is it? My parents live there. Next door is my sister, her husband, and their 6 kids. And they live in our grandparents' home that my dad helped build across the street from the home that they grew up in. Right next door to my uncle's house, right next door to my uncle's house, right next door to my aunt's house, and right down the road from my aunt's house, and right down the road from my cousin's house. Only farmland that was founded in 1850. Farmers, and they generations of people. And this is not the only story in Center Point that is like this. Most of the families there, the Levins, the Magukins, it's farmland, these forests. It's farmland, these forests. County, we know that it's not good for animals. Right now, we see deer. My dad sits at his living room window and watches 10 deer to 15 deer every single morning go about their not get turned off. But it affects these animals. Look at any massive industrial park that's required to have these lightings, there is still a huge glow, and you lose the night sky. That's something that we have always valued in Carrollton, Carroll County, and Temple are tied to the Center Point community. It's historic. We have memories through the family of these right across from the Catholic Church that she helped found. Her burial site is there. This is a very historic place. And, I could go on and on, but I just want to say, so thank you.
Thank you. Next.
I talk a lot longer than 3 minutes about data centers. My name is Keith Carr. I live at 1142 Old Muse Road. I spoke here a few weeks ago. One of my sons lives over here. There's a lot of controversy about that, but the data center is about 100 times worse than this light industrial park. Mr. Presnell said he worked at a lot of them. I retired almost 7 years ago, and I've been back working for Georgia Power for the last a little over 2 years now. And I've been going to all the data centers around Metro. There's probably not a one I haven't been going to. They've hired me back in a safety role. So I've been to all of them. If you could only see what it takes to build them, you would even be more dead set against them. Their Temple, and I don't know if these answers have been said, we've voiced this before. I don't say how Temple has the infrastructure. One of the guys that got up and spoke before mentioned the water when Donnie's house burned over there, that they didn't even have the water pressure, the significant water pressure for the fire hydrants. Y'all remember that? If you don't have the water pressure for a fire hydrant, how in the world are you gonna have the water to support something like this? That's one question. There's one exit at Temple. It's already backed up in the afternoons from I-20 getting into town. You'd have to put an exit at Venable Road, right there down here near Venable Road. You'd have to put another exit on Levens Road to even support the infrastructure to get in and out to do the construction. The equipment it takes to build these things is massive. It's and they don't build them overnight. One of that size over there, it would take several years to get it completed. And like somebody else said, the noise pollution, those transformers hum. They give off a noise. All around the buildings, they have to have big HVAC systems to keep those servers cold. It'd be a constant noise. It'd be a drone all the time if you live next door. And if you think this light industrial park would decrease your property values, that was a drop in the bucket to what this would decrease your property values, if at all. Probably affect people, Hugh Bass could say this, but it would probably affect people's property values within at least a few miles around it. It's more significantly than this light industrial park that y'all are wanting to put on the Carroll House County line over here. I work for the power company, and I guess you could say, well, why wouldn't you be for it? But because it's going to make you more profitable. I would be dead set against it because I got two sons that got property adjacent to it, right alongside the one longer. I probably my time's out.
Thank you. Next. Got your wish? Or not, I don't know.
Well, we'll see. My name's Kenneth Farmer.
Say it again, please.
Kenneth Farmer.
Okay.
I have property that actually joins this.
Address, please. Address.
1765 Center Point Road, 1816 Center Point Road, 578 Old Center Point Road, and more on Center Point that I'm not going to give the addresses right now. Let's move on. Of course, this project here, it really should have never been brought this far. If anybody knows anything about the law, we have to abide by certain rules and regulations, just like the city, the Carroll County government. We have to abide by what the state law is to do some of this annexation and stuff, and I understand that. I hope that people, I'm going to be a jerk about this, I know, and the reason I say that, I've spoke with a couple of people today. I told them I was going to come, and basically, I'm not going to be, up front yet, but I'm going to say it like this. There'll be litigation about this, I can assure you. I mean, putting the government on notice that there's going to be a lawsuit, whether it's verbal or in writing and all that, we understand what's got to be done. The Center Point people, we basically want to be left alone. We don't need a data center. We're not ready for it. Don't know that anybody will ever be ready for it. But I'd like to say this. If the city is annexing property and it's got to be continuous, we got an issue with what we call a federal highway, I-20. It's not county-owned, it's not state-owned, it's not city-owned. If we divided the property, and I understand the owners of the property, they acquired the property in '57. I understand I-20 come through there after that. We understand that. We don't know, I haven't done the research to find out when and where. I mean, easements are one thing, but when the government's buying right-of-way versus, buying land, they're not given easements for interstates to go through. So if you've got land on the north side of 20 and land on the south side of 20, there's quite a bit of difference in it joining and being continuous. So I'll say this. I think that they need to find another place to build this data center, and I would hope that y'all will pass it on and let them know that, you know, there's going to be a little bit more to it than all these people here tonight. This is just a drop in the bucket from what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing. I didn't see any no data signs out in front of this building here. So I'm not saying y'all are for it, but I'm just saying the signs are coming everywhere, and like I said, people can only do so much right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Hi.
Hi.
My name's Kara Bass-Harbin. I live at 2851 Mandeville Road. I live in my grandparents' home. I grew up staying out there with them, going out there almost every weekend. I have a larger family than even this. My husband and I are raising 6 children out there where I grew up, and that land and that experience is their inheritance, and that's the legacy that is being left. And if it is turned into a data center, what does that say about us? What kind of growth do we really want? If you want to grow your town or your area, that makes perfect sense, but the way that you do it matters. How carefully you do it, the way you consider the impacts matters, and it says a lot about your legacy. And I think this is not well thought out. If it goes through, I think it is not careful. I think it does not consider the long-term growth of this area, because a lot of us will want to leave. My kids won't want to come back. Their inheritance will mean nothing to them at that point. I'm watching houses slowly go up, and smaller tracts of land have families start showing back up, a lot of them that are from this area or have ties to this area, and it does not happen quickly, but it is happening. We've watched it happen just on our road. There's several new builds, normal, good families, nice homes on larger residential tracts. So it is happening. There is still growth, so we're not anti-growth. Obviously, I have a huge family. But the way that we go about it, I feel, is extremely important, and the legacy that we leave the next generation needs to be heavily considered. That's my point of view, and it matters a lot to me because of how many little humans I'm raising that I really want to stay here and raise their families here and continue their lives out here. Thank you.
My name's Michael Harris. I live at 411 Oak Grove Road. Our land, the backside of our land backs up to Center Point. Our family has lived on the land since the 40s. My parents, sister, and uncle all live on my great-granddad's farmland. We have livestock on it now. I've worked in the data center industry for the past 15 years. I've worked on many of the sites at Lithia Springs. I'm building a data center now, and I mean, that is how I make my living, but I strongly do not want one here in my backyard. I can see the building that's there. There'll be many more to come. But I think it's terrible for the environment. You know, I worry about our livestock. The way our cows get water is through the creek that runs from that side of the road. So, yeah, but strongly against it.
All right, thank you. Next.
Hello, I'm Amanda Whitlock. I live at 2775 Mandeville Road. I come on behalf of my elderly neighbors who are, so many of my neighbors speak, and you're in a community that before I moved out to this area of Carroll County, I did not purchase my meat here. I did not purchase my eggs here. You have a grand agricultural growth out there that is just phenomenally feeding my family. I moved back out to this area for this reason. I commute like most of my neighbors who all work outside of Carroll County. We all commute back to home. I think I'm in a area of 4 firefighters, multiple police, and first responders, and we come out here for the sanctity of the land and the atmosphere. I work 5 days a week in an area that is completely full of light litter, is what we call it, and growth beyond the infrastructure that huge areas have built without proper planning and padded pockets, unfortunately. But I'm here to tell you that we all oppose, and I wish we all could have been here tonight, and we'll be better prepared when it comes next go. But I wanted to make sure that my road was taken into account, that we strongly oppose this. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
My name is Ryan Barnett.
Say it again, please.
My name is Ryan Barnett. I live at 248 Stagecoach Pass, so not in the direct vicinity of the data center. I apologize, I didn't really plan on anything because I didn't know about this until about 30 minutes ago. But I deal with data centers all across the country, large hospitals. I can tell you that a data center of this size is going to take tens, if not 100 plus megawatts of power daily. Not to mention, as the gentleman was talking about with the water consumption, you can expect most likely 5 million gallons of water consumption a day if they use evaporative cooling, which I don't think we have the infrastructure for. Our lakes are already low. So if they do use that kind of technology, because it's cheap, you can expect water pressure to go down considerably. Not to mention who's going to pay for the infrastructure. It's probably us. They're not going to pay anything until they start paying the bills, which isn't going to be soon. I understand data centers are going to be in the somewhere. They should put it next to Plant Bowen. They got all the infrastructure right there. Land's cleared out already. That's a good spot for it. Not in our little community that Lithia Springs and Douglasville, turning into mini Atlanta. If they decide to go with a closed loop system for their water cooling, you can expect them to use different PFAS chemicals, different ethyl glycols, contaminants, same thing that's in your radiator in your car. So if they do have any kind of leak, that's going to go right into our water supply. You might think that's not going to happen here. It happened in Rome with the GE power plant. They're still dealing with PCBs even to this day. I don't know how many folks got cancer of all kinds of different, methods there. They were pouring it around their houses because they were told it was safe and it wasn't any problems. Sorry, I know I'm kind of getting off topic there, but this isn't something that we want. Do we have in Atlanta? They can put it in. They can keep that to themselves. Sorry, that's it.
All right, thank you. Next. All right, we thank you for your public comments, and we'll move to the next item on the agenda, and that is the approval of the published agenda with one amendment. Under new business, item 1, which just came up in the committee's meeting, the selection, consider selection of a new engineering firm, Carter, and what?
And removal of number 10, because they hadn't seen the audit.
Right, and removal of item 10 on the consent agenda.
And Richard moved it.
Okay. All right. Oh. Well, they're pretty quiet. Pretty quiet. Go ahead. Anybody, what's your pleasure on the agenda?
I make a motion to accept the agenda as prepared.
Okay, with the amendments. All right.
Yes, with the amendment.
Second?
Second.
Questions? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? 12, 2026 City Council meeting.
Motion to approve the January 12th minutes.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
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 Any opposed, the same sign. Motion carries 3-0. Announcements, Ms. Jacobson?
Just one announcement, that's city and training.
Okay. Thank you. All right, that will bring us to the consent agenda. First, is there any desire from council to remove any additional items from the consent? Authorize the replacement of diffusers for SBR number 2 tank and number 1 as needed with funding from the fiscal year 26 capital budget. Number 2, authorize staff to proceed with the upgrade to the City Hall server funded from the fiscal year 26 capital budget,
Not to exceed 35,000.
not to exceed 35,000. Please make that addition. All right. Number 3, approve the resubmission of the request for proposals for the Temple Records to annex parcel number 01170039B, located on U.S. Highway 78 into the city of Temple from Harrison County. Item 5, authorize the purchase of blower motor number 2 for the SBR tanks, along with a backup motor for number 3. Number 6, approve the purchase of a tractor with batwing mower fiscal year 26 capital budget. Number 7, authorize Public Works Director Josh Smith to proceed with the Center Point paving project through Carroll County's Road Maintenance Department, not to exceed $145,000 with funding from the fiscal year 26 capital budget. Number 8, adopt a resolution for the City of Temple's participation in the Harrison County T-Splost intergovernmental agreement. Number 9, authorize Mayor Johnson to sign the engagement letter for Will Robinson LLC to a resolution for Temple's renewal commitment as a city of civility. Do I hear a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
May I just add one more thing? Sorry. To number 5, we need to specify.
Operating fund, 14,200
200.
per pump.
Yes. Thank you.
I make that amendment to my motion.
And I'll second.
All right, motion and second. Motion by Mr. Bracknell, seconded by Ms. Miller. Any discussion? All in favor, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, the same sign? Well, it's a consent agenda, so you wouldn't have any opposition, right? Okay, so next is new business, quote for city engineering services.
I'm sure that was talked about in the committee meeting.
Yes, sir.
Greg Ashworth has moved from Turnip Seed. Turnip Seed did a wonderful job for us over the years. And while Mayor said it's very nicely, how did you say that, Mayor?
Well, I said Turnip Seed has treated us very well, but Greg has treated us even better. And he,
Make a motion, we go with Carter and Sloat.
Second.
all right, motion by Ms. Miller, seconded by Mr. Walden. All in favor, motion carries 3-0. Closing comments, Mr. Bracknell,
None.
Ms. Miller,
Sorry about being late.
Mr. Walden.
No, none, sir.
All right. We do have executive session for legal purposes, but there'll be no action after we come out of executive session to come back in here for adjournment. So do I hear a motion to go into executive session?
Make that motion.
Second.
Motion carries 3-0 to go into executive session. And I reiterate, will be no action other than adjournment when we conclude executive session. And thanks for coming.